Good morning. I see first people arrived on our online meeting. We have 1 minute left, so I will not start till then. So please log in, and we'll just start in a minute. I hope that you can see me and hear me as well. I won't be able to control the chat during this webinar because I'm all alone here, but any questions or anything you write will be read later and answered, I hope. Okay, since we have arrived at 11 o'clock, so we can start. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me today on this unusual, I would say, unusual event, digital fairs in ESA Digital Affairs. This is also a new thing for me, so I hope we all going through this quite well. Yeah, good morning. My name is Artur Kołacz. I'm from Alnor company placed in Poland. We are a manufacturer of ventilation systems, as you probably know, since you are logged here and are interested in our products. I deal with residential ventilation mainly in my company, and today I'm going to show you some new products related to the residential ventilation. So as I mentioned, if you have any questions, please write those in the chat box. I won't be able to answer it through this webinar, but I hope we can answer all the questions later. So this is a webinar, so you cannot communicate with me. So it's only one person show. From some technical issues, we choose Zoom meeting instead of this ESH digital platform because we weren't sure how it will work. And we had also some person limit on these digital platforms, so I hope you don't mind that we choose Zoom, and I think it's more common to everyone. I assume that we use it every day. Okay, I see that the attendees are still rising. Good. So I will go with the show. I will show you my screen now. Okay. Go, share it. Okay, okay, here we go. Alnor system ventilation. In Polish, it is system ventilacji. Okay, let's go. What I'm going to talk about today and show you a little bit is a plenum box for residential ventilation. We choose an EPP material for this one, and through this webinar I will show you why and why we think it's a good idea to choose EPP for such product. Here you have some overview, some photos, and I will explain all the details just now. Okay, let's continue. Some basic features like gasket placed on the spigot on the TP is a TPA gasket, so we are trying to have a seal airtight connection with the duct. I will show you just in a slide, another slide, how it is combined. What is important, there is no need for additional sealants or tapes or anything. You just slide, you just click the HDPE duct into it, and that's all you need. So, and this is similar to the standard plenum boxes that we produce from steel. I will show you later as well. So first feature, as you can see here, the duct is placed on the spigot, on the ABS spigot. There is a gasket, so everything is airtight. And what is important as well, that there is additional material around here, the spigot. So the flexible duct is also held firmly with the EPP surrounding the duct, which is, I think, a good idea to firmly hold the duct in place. So there's a guarantee for that. Airtightness is checked then. What was important for us when we were designing this plenum boxes from EPP was shape. Yeah, so we had a little bit more possibilities to shape it as we wanted. And we made a lot of simulations before we started producing the product, the box, to have the least the least pressure drop, which I think it's important from the point of view of energy loss for whole the system. And this pressure drop is important because we assume that, well, we have very good units now on the market, very high heat exchange ratios, very airtight unit, residential ventilation units, and there's a lot to do in the ducting. Yeah, so this is important to tight the ducting to prepare to give a better products regarding the whole system of the ducts. So we were trying to do it as good as we can. So we made, as I mentioned, simulation. I can show you how this done just at this video. As you can see, the color represents the drop in pascals, and as you can see, the drop is very little. So the air goes through smoothly through the box. This is, for example, a supply, as you can see, supply plenum box, because we have to imagine the ducts coming from the right, and yeah, so the outcome is quite good. I think I will show you some curves in a minute, but you can see through the color that the pressure drop is very low. To compare with a standard plenum box that we still produce, of course, and for a long time, made from a metal sheet. And here you have any other manufacturer have more possibilities to shape the angular design. So here, as you can see, when we made simulations, it can be seen that the pressure drop is much higher. Yeah, there are some vortex created here in the angular shape. So even comparing to the scale here, it can be seen that it's a little bit worse, right? And when you put it on a chart like this, for example, here the blue one represents the EPP and the violet one represents the steel one. For example, when we assume a 30 square meters per hour, which is an usual amount of air put through such a plenum box, for example, for EPP you have about 2 pascals drops only, and in case of steel it is almost 8, so almost 4 times being a pressure drop. Imagine 5, 4, 6 such plenum boxes in the system, which, well, it makes a difference. Regarding the red and orange line, those represent the boxes with 2 connections for pipes, so are much more similar to each other, but still there is about 2 pascals pressure drop in favor for the EPP. So it's good to notice it regarding installation and choosing components for installation. What else is important about this EPP product is that it is a good insulator. So we get 2-in-1. So the housing itself is creating the shape, and as well it is insulating, and so the thermal loss is much less. And we assume that additional insulation can be omitted when choosing such product. We also checked with simulations. I will show you just in a minute, and you can see that it really does the job, even if the walls aren't so thick as you can imagine, but still it is good. So we made a little comparison as well in case of EPP and steel boxes when dealing with the thermal loss. We choose this double connection boxes for this presentation. Here you can see a very similar graphics to the one with pressure, but those are referring to the temperatures. We choose airflow about 60 meters, square meters per hour for this double connection box, which is quite usual in installation for residential, for a single box. Airstream temperature of 20 degrees. Outside temperature, we simulated -5, assuming very extreme conditions, let's say, because usually it's placed in a warm environment, ambient temperature, but we choose this lower. And you can see the output temperature is 19.89 in case of this EPP, so very little heat loss. And when comparing, I'll show you the simulation as well. Here you can see, even looking at the color of the arrows which represent the temperature, you can see a little temperature is lost. The shape is also important in this case. Here also comparing to the standard, as we still produce those and we can offer them, but I just want to show you the advantages of EPP. Here the graphics on the left, the animation is without insulation, and even I don't have the scale of temperatures, but you can see from the color that the thermal loss is much bigger. And here, because of the shape as well, so there are some vortices, and here we lose temperature on the sides of this plenum box. So to have the same airstream temperature output, you should use at least 30 millimeters of mineral wool, for example, to have the same output as a EPP. So, well, you can omit it. There's less job to be done on the side, and the cost is lower as well, because you don't need additional insulation. So I think it's pretty convincing. I can show you once again this graphics, this animation. On the other hand, we also checked the single connection, I mean 175 millimeter connection, and even bigger, thicker insulation was required to have the same output because of the shape as well and the dimension of the box. So it's really an advantage for the EPP. What else is important, as we noticed while dealing with metal products, that some of the clients are asking about the corrosion. How is it with the resistance for the corrosion? And of course, using different materials, artificial plastic materials, we don't have a problem with the corrosion. So EPP casing, ABS spigots, the blue ones, and the TPS seals are as well resistant to water, to corrosion, so we don't have to worry about this when choosing such product. Something I mentioned at the beginning, so you just slide the FLX, in our case, FLX duct into this spigot, onto the spigot with a seal, no tools required. No additional taping, because sometimes we see some metallic tape used to connect the duct with the box, which is, well, also a loss of time and a loss of materials on the side. So it's better to do it without it. And as you remember, the shape of the I showed you before, the steel box has no outer material which holds outside the duct, so that in such case there can be some loose moments. On the side, the duct can skip out from the spigot. In such case, we think it's nearly impossible. So to accidentally pull out the duct, which is good for the installer. Once it's stuck, there is stuck for the rest of the installation process. Regarding the installation, what we done here is prepared 3 holes for mounting, for assembly into the ceiling to the ground. So there are special holes here prepared here, and, so it's easy to install. If you don't want to use such installation method, you can also use special perforated tape, which is very common in the residential sector to hold the ducts, and a lot of installers use it also to hold the plenum boxes. And you have special, as you can see here on the picture and on the 3D graphics, special holders for these guidelines for this perforated tape to hold the plenum box, and then you just put the tape to the ceiling, to the ground, whatever you choose. So 2 possible ways to mount it firmly to the ground. Also here we can see you can cut the collar to the height you need. So it's also easy, and with no special tools needed, just a knife, sharp, and you can easily cut through the EPP. So it's also easy. In case of steel, you have to use some tools, so power tools, and it is also time-consuming, power-consuming. There are a lot of noise, and you can also, in case of steel, you can damage the zinc coating, yeah, on the product. In such case, you don't have any problems like that. So it's also helpful. The duct, this main part of the box, is only 75 millimeters high. This is the height of the outer diameter of the duct. So if you want to hide it in the ceiling or in the insulation layer, you don't have any additional millimeters above. So it's only the height of the duct, and the height of the plenum box is 75 millimeters. And then also was the idea that drive us while we were creating this product, yeah, to have a very low height when then it is possible to hide it. As I said, in the ceiling, in the insulation, also in the concrete layer if required. There are 3, I would say 2 variants, mainly for this plenum box. The one with 175 for the ducting and 100 for the valve. The second one, as you can see, it has 2 connections for the semi-rigid ducting and 125 for the valve, whether it is inlet or outlet, of course. And you can add a reducer, for example, which will reduce the valve connection size to 100 if needed. But it's an additional feature, and probably you won't use it very rarely. You will use this 1 or 2 with standard 100 and 125 connections for the valves. What's more, to summarize, we are almost finishing. So we have an airtight connection, low pressure drop, good thermal insulation from EPP, easy installation of valves, but as well, it applies to every plenum box that we produce. And we are launching it in April. We are ready right now, but few last things to do, and you can probably, for sure, you can order it in April. Of course, you can contact me or our sales representative to do this, and we can give you the prices and some additional information if needed as well. Here you have a QR code for the technical data catalog on our website. So if you are very interested right now, you can scan it with your phone. I will give you just a few seconds. okay, maybe more to scan it, and you can see through the technical data on our website about the parameters I just mentioned, because it's all there. So I'll give you a moment. look at. Of course, if you do not have a QR code reader or you cannot do it right now, you can write to me, write to us at Alnor here, and we can, of course, deliver you the technical data and other information as well. So I think the prices will be ready just in a few days, so hang on to the information. Of course, we have, as mentioned, some residential ventilation units also for EPP. So we are exploring the material and the possibilities of such solutions. So together with the units for residential ventilation units, we have those new plenum boxes, which I showed you just now. We are working on manifolds as well to distribute the air the central way. So EPP manifolds also will be probably in this year available. But for now, we have, of course, the units, the plenum boxes, and as well, as you probably know or don't, we have also a ducting from EPP with 50 millimeters, as far as I remember, and 43 millimeters thick walls. So you can produce almost all of your ducting from EPP to the manifold, and then you can produce with FLX HDEP ducting if needed. Okay, so that was pretty much all. The idea was not to hold you here for long. Here is my email address and my phone, so you can contact me after this meeting. Of course, you can contact our other sales representatives from Export that are present on the ESH digital platform. So thank you very much. I hope it was important information for you. And I think it's quite, as I said, quite unique product on the market. So if you are interested in it, please contact us. I see that you have, you wrote me some, I have a question maybe, so there's a chance to answer it. Is your system tested by the EN norm? Well, it will be soon, because we tested the FLX ducting with this norm, of course, for semi-rigid non-metallic ducts. And this norm can be expanded to test the plenum boxes as well, because it's not strictly defined in the norm, but it can be used. So we've done this with the FLX HDEP ducting from 50 to 90 millimeters with and when comparing the air tightness of the system, we used the steel and manifold and plenum boxes. But now, yes, we can do this, and the same with EPP, and I hope we'll do it very soon, because it's a quite good norm to compare all the data and all the requirements of such non-metallic ducting in one place. So yes. And you can, of course, if you are interested, you can see our declaration of performance regarding the FLX HDEP ducts with this norm, and I hope that it will be soon. And there's a question, could we receive your presentation? Yes, because I am recording it, yes. So after the webinar, we can share it, through the emails that you use on the registration process for this webinar. If by any chance you don't get it or something goes wrong, please write to me, and I can also send you it directly. Okay. So so we deal with all the questions. Nice. Thank you very much. And well, I'm just skipping my presentation. Thank you very much. And I will invite you tomorrow at the same time. There is a presentation on the new residential air ventilation unit from Alnor. I will be also showing and explaining it tomorrow at 11. We send the Zoom invitation as well. It is available on the ESH digital platform and in the mailing. So hope to see you tomorrow as well. Bye-bye.